Mr. V. Balakrishnan joins us right now. Mr. Balakrishnan, very good to have you on the show. First, tell us why this decision of exiting from Infosys and where are you going next?
No, it is not a sudden decision. I had been thinking about it for the last 1 year after I stepped down from CFO. I think there's a time for me to do something outside Infosys. I want to work with young entrepreneurs in the private equity space. We have recently formed a fund also. So my interest is there. I thought this is the right time to do it.
And from 31st of December and post that, when you're out of Infosys, what is the fund that you are heading? And also wanted to know, was there a slight bit of unhappiness with the kind of role that you had been given at Infosys over the past few months that has really led to this kind of a decision?
No, there is no unhappiness. I am living in very good note. There is no unhappiness. I think I want to do something beyond Infosys. And I thought this is the right time for me to do that. So that is the reason, nothing else.
Right. I understand that you want to do something more than beyond Infosys, but you were also considered as one of the front runners to be the top man at Infosys. And you've left that race and gone away. Don't you think you wanted to be at the helm of Infosys at all? And have you really left it on your own?
No, that was never in my mind. That is a decision the nomination committee of Infosys has to take. But that was never in my mind.
Right. And what do you think about the succession of Infosys now that you are going to go out of the system there? And VG Srinivas was considered as the next man who could be on the top job. Do you think that Infosys is right now okay with an outsider coming and leading the team? Or do you think that an internal management team person will be taking over going forward?
No, these are the questions the Infosys board has to answer, not me.
Sir, hi.
Hi.
Sir, hi. Chandra here from ET Now Bangalore. You know, whenever I've asked you about whether you're leaving, you've dismissed them as rumors. So tell me what the trigger was this time around. The fact that you sold your daughter's share last month was somewhat an indicator, but what really pushed your hand to finally step down?
No, those are all independent events. There is no linkages. As I said earlier, I've been thinking about this for the last 1 year. And I was looking at various opportunities. Now I thought this is the right time for me to do something outside Infosys. That is why this decision, there's nothing else.
Sir, where are you headed next? Will you be the CFO or the financial consultant for another software company? Or are we going to see you in the role of a venture capitalist? Because recently you invested in 2 funds, Unitas and one more fund where a lot of technology executives have come together. So is that going to be your role going forward?
Yeah, that is going to be the role. I want to spend more time with young entrepreneurs. I'll spend more time in the private equity space, yes.
So, you know, the moment you stepped down, there was a rumor doing the rounds that perhaps you're headed to Cognizant. I want to hear it from you. Is there any truth to that rumor at all?
No, not true.
Not true?
No.
So also, was it a very tough decision? Because you're seen as someone who's very close to Narayan Murthy. He's very fond of you. You're really the blue-eyed boy, so to speak. So, how did he really let you leave Infosys? Has this been a decision that has been going back and forth in the last few months? And, how did he really let you leave Infosys? Because you're someone who's seen as someone who's very close to him. And people thought you've become more powerful after Mr. Murthy's return. So tell us a bit about that.
No, those are all conjectures. My decision, as I told you earlier, it was not a sudden decision. I've been thinking about it for some time. And I thought this is the right time for me to go outside and do what interests me. And that is why this decision, nothing else. And Murthy, of course, I respect him a lot. I learned a lot from him. He's a great mentor, great leader. I enjoyed working with him. And of course, everybody has to decide their life at some point of time. So when I said that I want to do something like this, he was appreciative of the fact and he encouraged me to do it.
But Sir, this is the 6th or the 7th major exit from the company and the second board level exit. So what is the road ahead for Infosys? Should we be very worried about the future? Despite Mr. Murthy's presence, there are so many distractions around with all these exits. So as shareholders, should shareholders be very worried about these series of exits?
No, Infosys is a large company. It has got good leadership talent. And we are not seeing any impact when leaders leave, because always there is a good second line which will come and take that position. So I don't think that will be concerning for Infosys.
So also wanted to know what does this really mean in the succession planning exercise at Infosys? I know you're going to tell me there's a prerogative of the board, but as someone who's been a board member for a long time, does this automatically mean that it's going to be advantage BG Srinivas because you were his strongest rival? Or is the race now open to external candidates? As a long-time employee and board member of Infosys, what would your assessment be?
No, it will not be appropriate for me to comment. I think this is in the realm of Infosys board and nomination committee. It will not be appropriate for me to comment on that.
But will Infosys get an outsider, sir? Is that something that we should look at very closely now?
I don't know. I can't answer those questions.
But, sir, just tell us a little more about your decision to exit. In the last 1 year, you have got a lot of business functions in the company. After you stepped down as CFO, you got portfolios such as Finacle, India Business, BPO, Lodestone, North American Utilities, a lot of business functions. Were you unhappy with the business functions that you got, or were you unhappy with the fact that you did not get larger responsibility? We just want to understand what the trigger was.
No, I was not unhappy. I already told you, I'm living in very good note. I was not unhappy. Those businesses are very good. In fact, all those businesses are doing extremely well. To take BPO, for example, is growing at 14-15%, at 20% net. So those businesses are doing extremely well. It is more a personal decision, which I've been thinking about for a long time.
So, it's been almost 7 months since Mr. Murthy returned to the company. As a board member, as a very senior executive, what is your own assessment of what he's been doing in the last few months? Have there been a lot of visible changes, and what will this really mean for the future of Infosys?
No, Murthy coming back is a good thing to happen for Infosys. I think his presence was required because the company had some self-doubt, and his coming back was very good for the organization. I think all the stakeholders are very much enthused, whether the employees or shareholders. The confidence has come back. Internally too, I think it has brought in a lot of energy. So I think that is a good thing to happen for the company, and I think he will change the company and bring it back to the growth path.
So as someone who's very close to Mr. Murthy, we want to know how he first reacted when you told him about your decision to exit, and when did you really communicate this to him? Because you told us that you've been thinking about this in the last 1 year, but when did you really go and tell Narayan Murthy that you want to exit, and what was his first reaction?
No, I had been discussing with him for some time since he came back into the board, and the discussions were on for some time, but he finally appreciated what I wanted to do. Ultimately, all of us have to do what we enjoy in life. So he understands that. So that's how it happened.
Does that mean you are not enjoying Infosys anymore, and any particular reason for that?
No, it's not so. I mean, at different point of time, different things excite you. Now I think this part of my life, I thought things outside is more exciting.